All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to King Panda TV, King Panda Talks. It's our, hindi ko na alam ilang episode to, pero nawalan kami ng sponsor. Dati merong pansit pero ngayon wala na. But today we have a very special episode. We have a very good friend and also a certified car fanatic, Land Rover of all things, yung maraming problema. And he's also a bicycle enthusiast. As a matter of fact, I think my open was from you. Thanks. Ikaw nag-import. It was open wide.
Dealer kami.
Dealer kayo. I got it from this guy in Quezon City.
One of the dealers kami.
Si Raven's Bikes. So siya nag-assemble.
Magaling yun. Maganda siya.
Yes. So, we have a very good friend here to talk about the beautiful places in the Philippines. Goyo Larrazabal.
Good afternoon. Thanks very much for having me here.
Former chairman din ng Comelec.
Commissioner. Thank you very much. Thank you. Commissioner.
For how long?
I was commissioner for 1 year, 6 months.
1 year, 6 months.
But that 1 year, 6 months felt like over a decade. Sobra.
I think any government job thing feels like it's 10 times longer than what it is,
yes.
You know, because of all the issues. But today, it's not politics. We're talking about how beautiful the Philippines is and how great we can make it. So, when you started this journey, you know, going around the Philippines, you were very active sa Land Rover Club.
Yes.
And you drove your Land Rover.
Yeah, solo.
Throughout the Philippines.
Yeah, solo.
So, sa mga nagsasabi na sirain ang Land Rover, better than the Land Cruiser. Diba?
That's medyo padugo yung debate niya.
Ganun ba?
Padugo yan.
That's what we do. We trigger people. So, anyway. So, how was that experience?
It was nice kasi 90s pa I would drive around, di ba? But after Yolanda, I decided na, hey, I need something bug-out vehicle. So, I got a D90, and we started setting it up. And that's what I kept on driving around the Philippines.
Grabe yung D90 niya. It's totally outfitted, naka-stereo system pa.
Yes.
Ganda ng stereo.
That's the only Land Rover Defender, I believe in the whole world, that won an EMA audio competition.
Wow!
It won here, it won the stage here in Manila.
How did they do the acoustics kung puro pang-overlanding yan eh?
Yeah, so we did a few stuff kasi sa dash, di ba? Wala. You need a big dashboard para at least maganda yung soundstage ba? We did arrangements sa speakers, then yung mount sa speakers dito dapat under the door,
yeah.
or under the dash, di ba? But wala yon, so ang ginawa namin under the seat. So di ba you have the battery there,
yes.
You have the fuses. Doon naman nilagay yung mid, next yung sa likod yung sub.
Yeah.
Sub.
So you drove it around the Philippines. What was your first place did you decide to go to?
I think I drove to Negros.
So from Manila, ferry.
So from Manila, Batangas, before pa I'd go Batangas to take a ferry to Calapan. From Calapan, you drive
Bulalakaw.
to Bulalakaw.
Yes.
Then from Bulalakaw,
I did that drive.
Then from Bulalakaw, you take a ferry to Caticlan, then Caticlan to Iloilo, Bacolod,
yes.
to Dumaguete.
Yes.
Now I just take the ferry from Batangas, I take the ferry to Caticlan. Diretso na. I just sleep in the boat. Kasi if you take the ferry to Calapan, then you take the boat from Bulalakaw to Caticlan, you have to leave Manila mga 9 p.m.
Yes.
But you can take there's a ferry from Rojas to Caticlan, but medyo hindi masyadong, the boats I wanted is in Bulalakaw eh. So now,
mas high-tech eh.
There's even one time, pandemic, so I would still drive during the pandemic, but at that time, that trip, Manila, Batangas, when I boarded the boat, when we just left Batangas, I called some friends. Oy, I'm already on the way to Caticlan. Ha? You are? Magla-lockdown kami dito. So, sabi ko, anong gagawin ko nun? Kung gusto mo, dito ka for mga 3 weeks or 1 month. Sabi ko, mahirap yun. So, buti there's internet connection. So, I had to book my flight. So, pagdating sa Katiklan, I went straight to the airport. I met somebody, left my car there, flew back to Manila. Iniwas ko yung lockdown.
So, you actually traveled throughout the pandemic?
Oh, yeah. There's one time I traveled about 4,000 kilometers in one trip. That's about 2 to 3 weeks. Now, when you go around, walang halos cars sa daan. Yung mga hotels, ako lang mag-isa. As in, you know, you like hotels na quiet, but walang guard.
Hindi deserted.
Oh, walang guard. Walang tao sa front desk. There's one hotel, 7 o'clock ng gabi, they said, "Sir, do you need anything for dinner?" Okay lang, maybe later. Sir, everybody's going home. Ikaw lang mag-isa dito. Okay.
So the whole hotel was deserted, ikaw lang nandun?
Ako lang mag-isa. Ay, di ako lumabas sa kwarto. Mga little things like that.
This was during the pandemic.
Yes. And yung nose, diba, butas na butas talaga kasi every 2 to 3 days, RT-PCR.
RT-PCR. You know, your experience throughout traveling, you know, so you said you went to Negros, you went to all these places. What have you seen? Kasi, you know, this is one of the things that I'm very, I guess, curious about, na ang ganda ng Pilipinas, pero bakit ang tourism natin nafo-focus sa places like Boracay, places like El Nido, Palawan, but yet, there are so many other places na pwede natin puntahan na hindi napupuntahan.
Exactly. Like, for example, Giwan, Eastern Samar is nice. Siquijor is amazing.
I saw videos of Siquijor. Ang ganda.
It's beautiful.
Pristine beaches.
Then, for me, Tawi-Tawi is still one of the best places you can go to. Last time I was in Tawi-Tawi, I went by myself. Wala, ikot-ikot lang. And it's safe. It's very safe in Tawi-Tawi. One of the safest places in the country. There's a lot of places na it's so beautiful. But when you go to another town, municipality, uy, ganda rin to. You forget that, uy, the other municipality I just came from was beautiful because there's so many nice places that you just take it for granted. But if you decide to travel, I always tell people, travel in the Philippines instead of traveling abroad because, una, you help the local economy, and second is, you meet so many nice people all over the Philippines. Mindanao, people tell me before that if it's safe, it's safe. Actually, it's so nice to drive in Mindanao. Ganda ng roads.
Malawak.
Malawak yung roads doon. Pagkatapos, it's safe, It's really safe. I drive by myself.
But why is there this stigma na don't go to Mindanao? Na magulo doon. It's just certain places lang naman di ba? Usually election time.
Yeah, in certain places naman. But before, mga 90s and early 2000s, it's difficult to drive through the arm at that time, di ba? But now, crisscross arm, even early evenings, it's safe. It's different now. So, siguro yung ibang tao, they don't take the time to check on the status of the place. And I have to tell you, there's a lot of places na sobrang ganda na now na you can just go there and rest because ang ganda ng mga hotels. Before, there were some places na, like for example, if you go to Zamboanga City to Pagadian, that's about 6 hours. I mentioned this already to some friends na you have to rush to make sure you get to Pagadian. But now, the last drive we took was from Zamboanga. We stayed in Ipil, and there's a really nice hotel there. Frankly, I did not want to leave early in the morning because we had to leave early, but I didn't want to leave because I just wanted, it was so relaxing, so peaceful, but we had to go, but I'll go back. So there's a lot of places. That's Zamboanga del Sur, Zamboanga Sibugay, Zamboanga del Sur. Now, if you go to Zamboanga del Norte, there's an intersection there, you go up to Liloy, then that goes to Dapita, Dipolog, no? It's also nice. It's flowing. Yung roads are not, walang masyado switchback. It's flowing yung roads, pare. It's walang lubak. Mabait yung mga tao. I'd love to go there again.
Is this because bagong gawa yung mga kalsada? Or it's just hindi nila daanan?
I think it's a combination of siguro bagong gawa, and it's not like, for example, if you go up north sa Zamboanga del Norte, that's not the usual route. It's usually down here, Pagadian, Ipil, Zamboanga City. Dito it's quieter, but sometimes that's what's nice. It's the quiet places but safe. Most of the places now, before when I used to travel, I had to bring a sat phone because there are maraming dead spots. But now it's maraming places na
May signal na.
May signal na. And if there's wala signal now, after 10-minute drive, there's signal na. Okay na yan.
And these are places that's my question then, is how come these places are not publicized? Kasi dapat, isn't that, again, we're bordering into trabaho ng DOT, di ba? But my thing is that you did it. How come it's not being promoted properly?
I don't know, but there's a lot of activities naman done by TIESA now, TPB, Tourism Promotion Board, and the DOT. I think what needs to be focused on, if I can just,
Of
2
course.
cents lang, is they need to have more public toilets. Because that's one of the, I was talking to a governor a few years back, and that stuck in my mind because when they did a survey of foreign tourists on what they want to see in a particular province or municipalities.
Clean toilets.
Clean toilets.
Yeah.
So that's the DOT is doing that now. They have the building with the tourism and the toilets, but I think you can do small scale but more widespread. Na importante is yung mga alam mo mga spots na
Pupuntahan.
ng mga tao, there's public toilets.
And there's running water. There's
Yes.
That's
Water is so important.
water. Yes.
Sobra.
What was interesting, I'm fresh from China, no? And what I've noticed, kahit saan ka pumunta, may toilet.
Yes.
And the problem is, obviously, not everything is clean, not, hindi sobrang linis, pero ang hirap pala mag number 2 sa China. Kasi walang toilet bowl.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, the first time, pare, when you gotta go,
Yes.
diba? Punta yung rest stop. Tinanong ko pa sa driver, sabi ko, is there toilet? Yes, there's toilet. Lots of toilet. Okay, very good. Hindi ko natanong kung may toilet bowl.
Okay.
Wala. Yung sa sahig. Boss, alam mo gaano kahirap Pero ang maganda, pag ganun mo, labas ka agad.
Okay.
Ang bilis parang...
There's a potting na parang...
Hindi siya, toilet bowl siya talaga,
Yeah.
na nakabahon.
Yes. So, there's actually a study here na if you raise your legs kasi, the position for you to poop is better as compared to nakaganyan yung legs mo. It has to be raised.
To be raised.
Yeah.
Pero yung maganda nga, pag ganun mo, labas ka agad. Ang problema, ang hirap magpunas.
Yes.
Tsaka wala silang bidet, boss.
Wala.
Wala.
Dito naman.
May dala akong portable bidet.
May dala ka.
Meron.
Importante yan.
Oo.
Dito naman sa Pilipinas, that's why it's very important na when I drive around, I usually lose weight. Because when I
Hindi
eat,
ka kakain masyado.
I don't eat much because I'm driving like 6 to 10 hours. And if something happens, I don't want with my tummy, di ba? So, I normally eat very little sa umaga. I eat sa gabi. And if something happens, I have the whole morning
To figure
adjust
that
that.
out.
But the morning breakfast, I don't eat a lot. I just to be sure that my tummy is okay.
Pero is art like the places that you've been to, obviously, kaya napakaganda niya, hindi pa commercialized, hindi pa ano. Is there a way for, like, let's say a tourist bus with a banyo to go around and, I mean, are we conducive to that type of an environment na?
I think so, but what can be done is, like just a tour sa Europe, di ba na, stops, di ba?
Yes.
You can do that sa Mindanao. For example, you go to Pintan, Dipolog, then you go down to, you can do the Zamboanga Peninsula Loop.
The loop,
Or you can go Iligan, Tubod, Iligan, Cagayan de Oro, hop to Camiguin, or you can go down to Davao from Bukidnon, di ba? Pwede yun. Pwede, yeah.
So land trip lahat yun.
Land trip lahat yun. And the roads in those particular provinces are beautiful. As in,
I was surprised nga in Mindoro. So, naghatid ako ng armored doon eh. This was way before pandemic pa. It was a week before Holy Week. So,
Okay.
hindi aabot. So, sabi ko, sige, ako na mag-drive. So, I had to take Batangas to Calapan.
yes.
Calapan to Bulalakaw.
Oh,
And sabi ko, may hotel naman siguro sa port, di ba? Putsa pare, walang
Wala.
hotel.
Wala.
Alam mo gaano kahirap matulog sa Fortuner? Ang hirap, boss.
yeah.
Ang hirap.
Sa Bulalakaw, if I'm mistaken, there was a... sa Bulalakaw, there's a nice restaurant there sa pier. But that's it lang.
Ewan ko, nakain ko almusal, hotdog, tsaka ano eh. May marshmallow pa. Pero ano. Tapos meron
sa
siyang hotel.
left side, di ba?
Sa left side, yes.
Yes, left side,
Yes. Tapos, pero yung kanin, bagong luto.
Okay.
Tapos, yung hotel niya, sabi ko sa assistant ko, hindi, may hotel. Sir, di hotel yan, kubo yan. Sabi ko, may makubo. Pagpasok na, pagtingin kong ganun, putya, may latag lang, tapos sakabukas lahat ng bintana. Hindi ko baka ma-rape ako nito. Sabi ko, mahirap eh.
Before, I remember in the 90s, I would drive from Manila to Leyte, di ba, or Moc. I remember talaga a couple of times na yung sa Sorsogon, sa Matnog, Sorsogon, wala pa hotel doon. The pier was that pagdating mo doon, PPH on the left, may mga vendors lang, kakainin mo doon either chippy or boiled egg. There's one time I got there mga evening, tulog ako doon na electric fan. Sa akin, basta makatulog. Pagising, you hop on the 5 a.m. boat to go to Alan Samar. It's much more convenient now to take Roros. Sobra. And the vessels are much better than before. And regularly schedule. Before, pangit yung schedule eh.
Hindi mo alam kung kailan.
Now, it's so...
Parang titingin. Tataas ba yung buwan? High tide ba? Hindi, titingnan lahat eh.
Now, it's more... At least, like for example, when I drive from Manila to Dumaguete, before I leave, alam ko na what vessel to take, what schedule.
Naka-schedule na.
Naka-schedule na yan. And normally, the fare, nakabayad na lahat yan. So, wala na, I do it online. So, wala na kung, I just pay the terminal fee, I pay the arrastre, but everything else is set. And the hotels, alam ko na, where I eat, alam ko na. I'm not the overlander who sleeps in a tent, rooftop tent. Ako, if I drive 10 hours, I want to be able to sleep in a bed. In a bed and take a hot shower. Yun talaga.
Yung mga nag-overlanding, hindi ata naliligo eh. Yung mga kaibigan ko, hindi naliligo yun eh. Pero couple of days lang naman sila.
It's fun, but I mean, say, I'm having a drive ba, pagkatapos, pagdating doon, may meeting ka, hindi ka pwedeng garag ka sa meeting, di ba? You have to come in fresh, di ba? So, you have to balance lang.
Throughout all your adventures, anong pinaka-favorite mong lugar?
Oh my God.
Kasi meron ka pa isang adventure na pumunta ka ng Ayungin Shoal eh. Sa WPS, di ba?
That one pa, it's like, I don't know how that happened. We went to Scarborough Shoal. I normally keep a small container of corals from Scarborough Shoal.
Akala ko your blood.
No. Pero that one, I joined fishermen and we took a 20-hour boat ride from Masinloc to Scarborough Shoal. We stayed there 3 days and 2 nights. We stayed on the boat. Yun pare. Okay, so...
Talk about roughing it.
Yeah.
Pare, that was...
And I brought Starlink at the time to communicate, di ba? We did an interview. So normally when pump boats dock, malayo yan, di ba? But since may internet, so the fishermen from both boats wanted to be together, di ba? So pare, hindi ka pwede mag number 2 sa harap kasi makita ka ng mga tao sa barko. Hindi ka pwede mag number 2 sa likod kasi makita ka sa likod ng barko. So that time, I ate only one time a day. Sorry, I ate only one time a day to control my bowel movement.
Don't worry, hindi tayo guided by MTRCB, so it's okay.
So it's but the last day, humata ako kumain. Kasi feeling ko, if I have diarrhea, what do? But if I have diarrhea the last day, I just hold it for 17 hours or 18 hours. Pwede na ako.
Kaya mo mag-hold the diarrhea for 17 hours?
I don't know, bahala na. But I was like, that one, I did it because a lot of people always, I see people want to go to Scarborough Shoal. Oh, sige.
Puro showbiz naman yung mga yun eh. Isa nga, mag-jet ski, hindi pumunta eh.
So sa akin naman, I went there. Next, wala akong security. I just brought a photographer. So if something happened, wala akong magawa, di ba? In fact, there's one time that we were doing an interview next, biglang, out of nowhere, a ship, a Chinese Coast Guard ship went near. So I said, hey, sorry, pakit yung signal, patay, tago. Next, I had to go. Whenever a Chinese militia ship or a Coast Guard comes near, I have to go in the pump boat. Ba, may sa likod yun eh. I have to wear a sleeve, then take out glasses. Kasi medyo I stand out eh. Hindi, medyo puti ako ng konti.
Sila maiitim lahat. They're always in the sun.
Yeah. So, they told me talaga, di ka pwede makita kasi mahirap na.
Is they gonna pick you up or?
They're gonna harass us.
Kasi akala foreigner ka
Yeah.
or?
There's one time, the foreigner was there. Sabi ng mga fishermen, there were foreigners there. Ganyan talaga. 3 Chinese vessels dito for how many hours? Hindi, yun lang, ganyan lang, haras lang.
Andun lang sila.
Yeah.
They didn't do anything though.
They didn't do anything. I was able to take a drone shot of it sa Scarborough Shoal. And I'm one of the last who stepped on Scarborough Shoal after kasi bawal na yung Filipino vessels sa Scarborough Shoal eh. So ako yung one of the last na who stood on the shoal.
So ginawa na ba nila talaga? They blockaded it na.
I was just in Masinloc like 2 weeks ago. I talked to the fishermen. They can't fish there. In fact, 35 nautical miles from the shore, may Chinese vessels na. So they can't pass that. Kapag dadaan mo doon, haharasin sila. So they can't go near the shoal. It's off limits.
Wow.
Kung ang fishermen natin na, they can't fish anymore. And it's overfished eh.
Yeah. Disclaimer lang. I just look Chinese. Hindi ako part ng West Philippine Sea. Hindi pa ako nakapunta ron. So.
But it's, okay, the West Philippine Sea, you can imagine how beautiful it was. And
Yes.
you were talking with the fishermen. Marami sa kanilang mga Bisaya, from Davao, from Cebu. They said talaga, many of them migrated from Cebu and from Davao.
Just to fish.
Just to fish. Before, you would go to Scarborough within a day or 2, maximum 2 days, your
Puno na.
pump boat will be full. Now, 1 week, hindi pa mapuno.
It's because the Chinese vessels are fishing.
They overfish it. Then before, sa shoal, where I stood, pare, sabi nila, when you walk, you could put your hand sa tubig and you can get a fish. Ganun kadami. Now, wala na eh.
How's the water naman? Hindi naman polluted or anything?
Hindi naman polluted. But doon is, medyo yung current is, it's weird. Malakas yung current eh. So when you swim, I think I'm an okay swimmer. Nahirapan ako. But the fishermen, they're amazing. Galing sila. Sabi nila huwag kang pumunta sa malalim kasi may last trip doon. Anong last trip? Yung pating. Kasi kung makita ko last trip, wala na yung mahirap na yun. But you know, when we were there, the first night, the fishermen, pare, they were diving like hours. May yung mga oxygen lang, they dive and pag umaga, they do spear fishing eh. They do ang daming fishes. But they said it's mas grabe before.
So definitely it was probably wasn't depleted but malaking difference na.
Sabi naman nila, if you don't fish there for 2 years, it will go back to the way it was mga 80s.
So they overfished talaga.
They overfished there. Kasi sa Filipinos, I asked them, bakit hindi kayo mag-fish na using nets? Kasi sabi ng mga Pinoys, masisira yung corals. They want to protect pa rin. So, it was in Scarborough and tried to go to places na medyo off na konti.
Can you still go? Like
There?
Yeah,
No.
hindi na.
And that one, I was able to go there because sumama ako sa mga fishermen. But for example, you have a yacht, pare, you have a yacht, may nagsabi sa akin, pupunta kami, after I arrived, sabi, pupunta kami naman, magyati kami, sabi ko, good luck. Pare, if they see that the pump boat or the boat is not a regular boat that goes there, harang nila. So that's why I was able to go there because I
And this is Chinese Coast Guard, ha?
Chinese Coast Guard dito, di ba? So the shoal yan, di ba? Next an opening here. So there's a couple of militia here, Coast Guard. Sa opening mismo sa shoal,
May nagbabantay.
Tatlong Coast Guard dito. Next, pag lalapit ng isang barko, bababa ng speedboat yan. So hindi ka talaga makapasok.
Ano, they have guns and...
I don't know. I took pictures, but it's like a Coast Guard vessel. But may nakita ko doon mga Chinese Navy ships. In fact, one of the biggest supply ships of China was there, like 35 nautical miles from the shoal. Nakita ko took a zoom shot na it's big. It's a big vessel.
So it's a major operation talaga. It's not...
Oh. Okay. So, on the way back from the shoal, gabi yun, di ba? So, tulog na ako. Hey, we're going back na. Biglang nagkakagulo. Kasi, out of nowhere, alam mo yung ship, di ba? There's the light here sa port, starboard, and here. There's 3 lights. Nothing else. So, alam namin, malaking barko yan. Next, yung kapitan kept on switching the flashlight. Sabi lang, hindi yung Pinoy. Kasi kung that's a Philippine Navy ship, they will signal back. If it's a commercial ship, they will signal back. That one, we were going here, no? The ship talaga, pare, was
intercepting.
So we had to turn around. And when we turned around, that's the only time it veered off. Parang it's like, okay, it's like that vessel saying that,
Okay, dadaan dito.
Alis kayo, di ba? Or kami...
Pauwi na kayo eh.
Pauwi na kami. So, that one was about 45 to 50 nautical miles from the shoal.
So they want you to go around?
No, they wanted us to veer talaga na, alam mo yung divert na... they did not naman, they wanted us to reroute and they did not follow us naman. So, ang feeling namin is, they just wanted to make a statement na, kami yung boss dito. And ako naman, I didn't think of it, di ba? Kasi, alay ko ba? But after that one, pag gumanyan yung vessel, it moved to the left. So, biglang mga fishermen said, nakakatakot yan. And I realized, shoot, if they got scared, that was definitely scary. Kasi hindi sila natatakot. Sanay sila before. Sanay sila harassment. Yung iba na water cannon daw sila before. So sanay sila doon. But that one...
These guys are just fishing.
Yeah, they're fishing. But alam mo, there were times na, like one time na nakadock kami doon by the shoal, di ba? So, may lalapit na Coast Guard at saka or militia, di ba? Lalapit yan. So, they'll stop, decide, parang titingin next go around. So, it's like, you know that you're being watched, you're being monitored.
Grabe. I didn't know that it was this extent.
Oh yeah, there's I think there's about 16 vessels
Ships there.
And alam mo yung mga ships na Pinoy, kasi ships na Pinoy, pump boat.
Uh-uh.
The length of the pump boat namin is shorter than the width of their Coast Guard.
Oh my God.
So,
lalamunin ka talaga.
So, pag ganyan mo, but you see it, it's big. When you see it, alam mo talaga na, okay, you have to be careful.
So how long were you there?
3 days, 2 nights. And I slept in parang ganito, kalaki. Kasi alam mo yung lalagyan ng isda. That's where I slept. Yung cooler, that's where I'd sleep. And the first night, that was on the way there. When I got there, we slept on the cutting. And ang blanket namin, yung tarpaulin. Kasi malamig minsan eh.
Hindi ka nalaglag?
Hindi. Yung ganito, dito, I used my shoe as my pillow. Like, naka-fetal position na, naka-crouch na ako. That's it. Di
Oh
naman
my
madala.
God, talk about roughing it.
Ah.
But definitely an experience.
Oh, definitely. It's a once in a lifetime experience, and there's a reason it's called a once in a lifetime experience. But for us, kasi for me, it's once in a lifetime. Na it's so hard. Just imagine our fellow Filipinos
Do that
all
for a
the
living.
time.
For a living.
And alam mo, we're talking with Kap Dodong and si Rain. Rain is the son of Tony, who's starting pagka-fisherman. But they say talaga, the stories na they're doing this na kasi wala sang ibang option. So, that's why we're finding ways to provide alternative livelihoods for them para to compensate for the loss of income na they can't anymore fish.
Itong question ko, and maybe it's borderline politics na or whatever, and I've been asking, our friend about it, and why does this happen? I mean, why can't just the two countries sit down and talk about it, and parang sindakan lang, and nothing, and it's costing the livelihood of our fellow Filipinos. And what's the issue talaga? I don't get it. I still don't get it, and nobody gets it. And I was told that every time that a dialogue was started, China doesn't want to talk about it.
Well, Chinese fishermen started fishing there in the 90s.
So matagal na.
Matagal na.
Okay.
Walang hindi sila tinataboy. So they kept on just going there. Okay, verify this but one of the fishermen said that, we have a vessel, Sierra Madre, right? There was actually the vessel that was marooned there sa shoal. Then it was removed. It was kinahoy na, they remove it. So, they did that. But sa shoal, kasi ang kwento na doon is, there was a time na grabe mag-dredge doon. Grabe mag-dredge yung Chinese vessels. Grabe mag-fishing doon. Kasi yung fishing nila is, yung iba,
Commercial talaga.
commercial, and they use the big net. Sa fishermen natin is, we do spear fishing.
So they do it.
And they have dito, bawal kasi sa atin yung mga sobrang powerful lights, diba, pagkagabi. Sa Chinese vessels, they have those really big lights. Kasi, how would you know? Kasi, first night, nandun ako, sabi ko, ano yun? Mga ilaw. Wala. There's nothing here. So, those are the vessels na sobrang laki yung lights to attract fish, diba? So, akala mong city. When you look at it, parang may ilaw doon. Darkness.
Pero mga boats yun.
Boats na sobrang lakas ng ilaw. Bawal sa atin yun
Di ba, itong question ko, ganun ba kaliit ang dagat na pinag-aawayan yung isang lugar?
I think sa...
Hindi mo siya pwede mag-fish sa ibang lugar. Bakit doon?
I don't know.
Why? It has to be something more other than just fishing. Trying to control the territory. Or again, this is conjecture or whatever the case may be. But laki ng dagat Pwede naman mga isda sa ibang lugar Bakit doon?
I don't know.
I don't get it
I know. But it was supposed to be fertile fishing grounds before. It's not that much anymore now. You still can get fish, but not like before. Before, parang sabi talaga nila, maglakad ka sa shoal, you just put your hand in the water, you can get fish. I think you can imagine how beautiful it was. The drone shot, makita mo talaga, ganda.
I guess that's a conversation for another day, But ano kinain nyo doon sa barko? Sa swimming?
Okay. So,
kasi,
they would eat the fish they caught, but not the expensive one because they have to
sell it,
diba?
What's expensive? Like,
I don't know. So,
like mahi-mahi, blue marlin,
They had the barracuda there. In fact, when I talked to the fishermen last time I met there, we missed the harvest for lobsters. We missed it. Kasi wala, you can't go there na Now, I actually brought canned spam. Because my logic, pare, is like, I didn't know how my tummy will react to the food.
To the fish, or whatever.
The fish. And if something happens, I don't want naman they have to stop their
Operations.
operation just to bring me back 18 hours or 20 hours to Masinloc, diba? So, spam, once a day. 1 meal a day. That's it.
Pero sila, ano kinakain nila? I mean, they cook?
They cook. So,
Sinigang?
they have cook there talaga. Each pump boat has a cook, designated cook.
Wow!
So, kompleto talaga yan. But if, they have to be careful kasi basically, walang medical kits to, diba?
Oo. Pero, I mean, how bad could it be? You fish, you cook it,
Yeah.
it's fresh.
You know, the last day, we ate fish. Sabi ko, ang sarap. The way it was cooked, very simple. Parang sweet and sour. But it was so fresh. So masarap. I made the most of it. Kain ako na kain, diba? So, I took my time eating it. Then, because, figured, okay, we're going home na.
So they have rice and then they have...
Yeah.
Ayun, pare.
Kompleto.
We should make it a tourist attraction. Scarborough Shoal. Comes with a free AK-47.
But that one is, everything's underwater. The one inside the shoal is very beautiful. We couldn't go inside because bawal, di ba? And sa akin naman is, I could have pushed it na I could do something, something spectacular, but at the end of the day, I figured, I always had in mind that whatever I do now, the one who will take the brunt of it will be the fisherman. So, dapat careful lang.
Huwag sila mapahamak.
Huwag sila mapahamak. Importante yun.
But 3 days, and it takes 20 hours to get there from Masinloc.
Wow. Kasi you travel about 15 nautical miles.
And gaano kabilis yung mga boat nila?
10 mga 10 knots.
Kailangan mag-sponsor si Marco Tronquid dyan.
Malaki.
Ha?
Malaki yung fishing
Mas malaki pa?
Malaki yung fishing ship.
Malaki yung fishing boat nila?
No, ito,
Yung mga pump boats?
maliit lang eh. Maliit lang. No, sa amin is, ang ginamit namin is maliit lang. May cutting. It fits about 10, 12 people.
Cutting is the ganon.
Oh, boy. It's not that big. You can walk around, but there's no room. Yung sa captain, may sleeping quarter sa likod. Konti, actually just parang storage lang. You just lie there.
Teka, saan ka magsi-CR?
Ay, pare, doon ka sa gilid. Gilid ka na.
Diretso.
So that's why, gilid ka. Number one.
Sa ano? Hindi. Sa ano na?
Sa cutting. That's sa cutting. Sa cutting.
That's where you stand.
Okay, sa cutting, you go sa side, you pee. Or
Just
if
hold
not,
the cutting.
that's
Do
it.
your thing.
Yeah, you go hold it, pare. Hold the cutting, go hold the mga ropes, mga bamboo. That's it. Then just,
Close your eyes. Because everybody's looking at you.
Hindi, baka nga, kaya nagagalit kasi nakikita, umiihi. Sabi ko to, very big, very big. What's that? Very big. Problema yun eh. So doon lang. What if you're gonna do number 2?
same.
Puta-buti pa sa China may banyo kahit
So,
nag-squat ka.
You squat, like you just hold the rope.
Hold the rope.
That's it.
Squat.
Squat, hold the rope sa gilid. That's it.
And pray that the waves will not take you off the
Exactly.
Hindi, bakit hindi ka na lang pumasok sa tubig, doon ka mag...
Exactly.
Yeah, pwede ka.
Pwede rin, ano?
Pwede poop that way. You could pee that way. Alam mo, before, sa mga 90s daw, what they would do is, the Chinese vessels would actually go towards mga Filipinos and they would swap. The Chinese would give the Filipinos mga really good ramen, and the Filipinos would give their fish or for yung mga liquor.
Trade.
Oh, they would trade, pare, but not anymore.
Ngayon, nag-aaway. Anyway, guys, we'll be right back talking about all the food in Scarborough Shoal. We'll be back. Welcome back to King Panda TV, King Panda Talks. So now we're here with Mr. Larrazabal talking about the different cuisines na na-experience niya in his travels in the Philippines. Diba? Mahilig tayo kumain.
Oh, yeah.
Miss Goyo. So galing kang Scarborough Shoal, nung pauwi na kayo, sabi mo kumataw ko sa pagkain. Ano kinain nyo nun?
They told me it was fish, then pagkatapos it was parang sweet and sour yung...
Hindi prito.
Hindi. But it was so good na Sabi ko, should have eaten this yesterday, but you don't want to risk na something na tummy.
Pero fresh na fresh. Yung
Fresh
isda.
na
Anong
fresh.
isda yun?
Ayun, maliit lang yung mga ganyan eh. But kasi, they can't really cook the really expensive fish because, you have
Bebenta nila.
And saka na, one thing I discovered is, they actually get a lot of aquarium fish from there. So,
okay.
yung aquarium fish na
Oo nga, saltwater no? Oo.
The ones you see here in mga pet shops, they come from Scarborough Shoal. And what they do is, there's about two small boats. Every morning, and they just get the fish. Then they put it in plastic containers. They put oxygen, wrap it, tie it. Then the following day, do again, change the water, then put oxygen. So they do that every day. And by the time gets to the mainland, Masindok, they get the fish and brings it to Manila.
Grabe. So, doon pala galing yun.
Doon yun. Nakita ko na si Nemo.
Si Nemo. So, doon ang gagaling pala yung mga isda sa aquarium.
Yes. So they would explain na certain fishes, they would take extra care kasi mahal yung certain types of fishes. Kasi iba. Then what I notice is, every day, when they change the water, they would throw out some fish. Kasi parang medyo matamlay ng konti. So they would throw them out back to sea.
Para mabuhay.
Para mabuhay. Then they put in new air.
So, naka-plastic na silang lahat.
Naka-plastic. Parang it's on the side of the boat na dami mga containers. Ganyan. Like 20 per ganyan. 20 per plastic.
So, besides aquarium fish, they also fish yung mga binibenta nila na pangkain.
Yeah. So, what they do is, in the morning, there's spear fishing and there's boats that go to aquarium. Pagkagabi, from about 7 in the evening hanggang like 3 in the morning, makita mo they just spear fish, may divers, just keep on fishing.
Sa gabi?
Oo. So, yun, sa gabi, in the morning, they'd sleep. While they're sleeping, yung mga aquarium fish na mga fishermen would do the fishing naman. Like, may iba na mag-spear fishing in the morning for like the barracuda. Depende sa season.
Nandun.
Nandun eh.
So nakakain ka nung nila. Sarap. Fresh na fresh.
Sarap. And that's the nice thing about the Philippines. Every province, every region,
Iba yung
iba yung dish. And
What's your favorite?
Basta sa akin hindi spicy.
Pareho tayo.
Hindi ko kaya spicy. I was assigned before when I was a public field official in Bicol.
Bicol Express.
Love the food, but I couldn't eat spicy food.
Bicol food is spicy.
Most of it.
Most of it.
It's spicy. I can't do that. I itch and medyo may reaction ako, so can't.
But out of all the places you've been to, anong pinaka-favorite mo?
Oh my gosh, where do I start? You talk about the main course or dessert?
Both. Let's start with the main course. Kasi ako, sabi ko naman sa'yo, paborito ko ngayon, Bisayang adobo.
Yung adobo, like for example, there's certain provinces have a different take on that. So
May matamis.
Yes.
May maasim. May maalat.
Ako, I like sweet.
Yeah.
But what I like doing is, I eat where the locals eat. So I don't eat yung mga fast food restaurant. Gusto ko yung mga turo-turo.
Yes. Yun ang masarap.
Yung mga yung mga karinderya, yung sa may plaza. Sa plaza kasi, you just walk down mga stalls, may makita ka na, for example, may bibenta ng Japanese food, may bibenta ng barbecue, may bibenta ng lechon. Iba-iba. So, iba-ibang take. So, makita mo, uy, maganda yan, maganda ng lechon yan. Kasi
So, you just choose.
You just choose.
At saka mura sa probinsya.
Oh, yeah.
Compared to Manila, mahal dito. Highway robbery dito eh. Para kang nagbayad ng payment mo sa kotse eh.
And mas masarap doon because it's fresh. It's fresh talaga. So, depende yun. But what like I mentioned is, I normally ask them, saan ang place na kayo mismo kakain? So, there's one place in Bacolod. Sobrang sarap yung chicken barbecue nila.
Manukan country? Hindi.
It's a restaurant. I forgot the name of the restaurant, but sobrang sarap. And when I go to Iligan, there's this. Can I mention the restaurant?
Of course.
Sunburst.
Kasi sa susunod, mag-i-sponsor na sila.
No. Sunburst.
Sunburst, free plug sa Iligan City. Sunburst
Pero
Restaurant.
di ganyan sa pagalian eh.
Oh,
Meron.
may branch pa. Kita mo, multi-branch pa sila.
And the nice thing
Sa
about
Bonga, meron din.
meron din sila.
Tatlo.
The nice thing about that is their chicken skin.
Chicken steak.
Chicken skin.
Chicken skin.
Chicken skin. So there's one time I went there, di ba? So kain ako ng chicken skin. You forget about your limits. So biglang when I was eating, yung mga pinsan ko from Iligan, si Councilor King Larrazabal and his family, biglang sama na tingin sa akin kasi I was so red na biglang iba na. So
Nag-allergic reaction ka na.
no, my BP was high na eh.
Oh!
So,
Naka-
but I still went there the following day. But, konti lang pag... So, I still eat there. Yung taper off ng konti it's sarap eh. Discover the local delicacies na parang ang sarap eh.
Ang hindi ko lang magets talaga is kung ano yung mga differences niya. Kasi talagang sobrang iba minsan eh. Like, I've had adobo na may gata. Before.
To?
Yes. Hindi ko alam kung saan. Pero natikman ko yung may gata yung adobo. Sa iba naman, matamis. Sa Pampanga naman, po talaga siya, para motor oil. Kasi sobrang ano. Pero masarap. I mean, Pampanga food, Kapampangan is like the best, di ba? Pero mamantika talaga. Ayun, boss, pag kinain mo yun, puta, hindi ka lang pula. Para kang papalit kay Cardinal Sid.
So, there's
Talagang pula.
one time I was in Siargao. We ate really good food. Wala akong pahinga that night kasi nag-brown out. And that's a problem with Siargao eh. Before, parating brown out kasi kulang yung power supply. The following day, when I flew to Manila, sobrang sakit dito eh. So, so before I boarded, I checked in early eh. Really, pa-check lang. Kutya pare, my BP was 211.
Oh, over
So,
100.
Over 110. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So,
Wow.
I had to take medicines. I remember it was really good food. It was like really good food. Wala lang akong pahinga. That also brings to light the importance of having medical facilities. Kasi at that time, I had to fly back to Manila because I couldn't stay in Siargao. Walang medical facilities.
Teka, nagka-high blood ka before you boarded the plane.
Yeah, so I was there.
Paano ba sasakin mo?
But yes. But I took medication.
Mas masahol yun pag sumakay ka na. Yun, mag-high blood ka talaga. But anyway,
In some cases,
yeah,
yes.
Some cases.
One of the things we're doing, we're pushing for more medical facilities, not just for the residents, but also medical facilities is very important if you want to spur tourism. Not only foreign tourism, international, but also domestic. Kasi for example, bakit ako pupunta sa Siargao or
Kung walang gagamot.
or
Yeah.
or a particular place na sobrang ganda pero walang tubig, I may know, walang hospital or walang medical facilities. What if something happens? Diba?
I think it was Karen Davila's kid that
Yes.
went to Siargao ata,
Yes.
that na scratch and
Yes.
walang facility na
There is now, but it's still lacking eh. But that brings to fore the importance of having medical facilities.
Kasi kung magandang tourist area, sinong doktor ayaw pumunta ron?
Exactly.
Ako, magdodoktor ako kung patitirahin nila ako sa Siargao.
Tinanong ko nga, kailangan yung abogado dito?
Boss, pag-notaryo pa niya.
So that's why, for me, no, some islands talaga, sobrang ganda. As in, we went to Anahawan in General Luna.
Saan yung General Luna?
General Luna is Siargao, capital town of the island. And it's like a 1-hour pump boat ride to one of the island barangays. Anahawan, pare, is so nice. Sobrang ganda. I'll send you, we show you a video. But ang problema lang doon is the access to it. And when you go there, kulang ng tubig, walang masyadong medical facilities. So there's a lot of you have to move away from the traditional way of thinking that the Philippines is only limited to Boracay, El Nido, Bohol, or some of the top tourist destinations. You have a lot of tourist destinations na absolutely beautiful beaches. Absolutely beautiful ridges na when you go to the mountaintop, I think there's
Pristine.
sobrang ganda. Sobrang mura to get there, but ang problema lang, sometimes access is limited.
Access.
And you need to promote it. You need to promote it. Para yung mga tao will not congregate only in Boracay.
one, yeah.
Sorry, Boracay is nice and those other places are nice, but there are a lot of other places in the Philippines that are also as equally beautiful, but I think we should explore those places.
Honestly, first time I went to Boracay was last year. I was terribly disappointed. Because the way we pump up the place, you expect the place to be perfect. Right? Because all over the world, they know about Boracay. You get to the airport, binabato lang yung bagahe mo doon sa tabi. Wala man lang conveyor. Which I think they're building an airport now. But we've been promoting it for a long time. So, wala tayong tamang facility.
Here's a option. Tawi-Tawi. Tawi-Tawi has one of the best beaches in the Philippines. Ang problema lang, medyo mahirap to get there. But for me,
Pero meron ng airplane papuntang Tawi-Tawi.
yes.
I think. Direct
They have a
flight.
Cebu Pacific. Has one. Spal sometimes has.
You know, at least sa Cebu Pacific, pag nagko-commercial, hindi nila sinasabi maganda service nila. Mura yung ticket. Diba? Pero yung iba, pag sinabi Heart of the Filipino, puta, yun naman tinitira nila lagi, kapwa Pilipino. Diba? So, anyway, Cebu Pac, okay. Very
So,
good.
what I normally do is I look at places na not the usual. And you'd be surprised on the other options you could have or to take
At a fraction of the price, even.
fractional price, walang taga, really good food, hospitable and friendly neighbors. And when you go to a place, yung mga kasama mo, ang bait.
They're happy to see you.
Oh yeah.
Diba?
Yeah. And sa akin lang there's some places na I wish there were more foreign tourists, but unfortunately wala. So hopefully that will change soon.
You know, like I said kanina, you know, just fresh coming from China, which is, ngayon, lalo pala issue sa isda, pero it has to be talked about. One of the things that I've noticed there is people are rude because they came from nothing. And
Okay.
hindi pa naka-elevate yung attitude nila sa, you know, civilization. But one thing I noticed about Chinese there is their full respect for the law and their love for their country. Lahat sumusunod sa batas.
Okay.
Hindi nila ginagancho yung mga turista. You know, bigyan mo ng pera kasi minsan hindi kami magkaintindihan eh. Tapos si Google Translate nabubulol pa kasi siguro ayaw nila Google dun eh. So, ayaw. Bibigyan ka naman ng program, puta, incheck din. Hindi rin mo magbasa na incheck. So, pag bigyan mo ng pera, which is, most of them don't accept cash eh. So, si Alipay. But if you give them cash, they just give you sukle. And then they're so thankful that you bought something. Eh, dito minsan mumurahin ka pa.
Hindi, ang problema, ito just be real I think it's less now, but before, when you go to tourist spots, you're scared na tatagayin ka. Even if, like for example, when you get out of the airport to go to the hotel, taxi, sasabihin, ay, sira yung metro, or kontrata na lang. And if they can, and you've heard horror stories of foreign tourists na tinaga talaga, di ba?
Or
Nanakawan. So, parang, that's a bad way to promote a country. That's a bad way to promote a tourist destination na you want them to come back eh.
Yes.
Kasi when you develop a place, when you promote a country, it's not a one-time, big-time thing. You have to develop relationships with these
Para
people
tuloy-tuloy.
so they'll come back. So, for example,
Negosyo yan eh.
kasi for example, ako, pagpunta ko sa area, sobrang bait ng mga tao, sobrang alaga ako, I'll recommend them to my friends, di ba?
ka.
Mayayaya ako to go there.
Yeah.
And that's how we should look at things. It's not only what you get now, it's how your actions will impact the next few years, not only for yourself, but for the community.
Sa country. Yeah.
Exactly, di ba?
And plus the way, I mean, just funny, that's why I guess I was so disappointed with Boracay. You know that, yung sa Station 2 ba yun? Yung kung saan yung, anong hotel yung tinirahan namin? Discovery, sa Station 2. So we're walking along the shore, nagbebenta ng pearls.
Okay.
Right? So, may lalapit. Sir, 5,000 lang, 5,000. Sabi ng konti, may lalapit. Sir, 3,500 lang, 3,500 lang. Parehong pearl ah.
Pero pa.
Ewan ko kung plastic yung isa, but, tapos, mamayang konti, makikita ko, sila magkakasama pala doon.
Okay. So basically, it's supposed to be 3,500. We just, kung maloko ka,
Maloko kang 5, tapos meron pang 1,000, may 2,500. It's like, if you're the tourist, you feel like you're being harassed na, naglalakad ka sa beach, ang ganda ng view, ang ganda ng sun, and then you get harassed every 5 seconds, every 10 seconds, because the vendor's trying to sell you something. I mean, I understand about commerce, and their need to sell. But if people want to buy, may tindahan naman sila di ba?
Exactly.
So, sana it's something like that they can regulate. Kasi I heard dati, bawal na yun yung hinaharas yung mga tourists. But when I went there, I was so turned off by that.
It's really different now. When we went there in the 90s, less number of people, everybody was in beach attire. Last time I went there was, I think, little after the pandemic. People are wearing jeans and clothes.
Sa Puerto Galera?
No, sa Boracay. And it was, when you're walking, if you didn't see the beach, if you didn't see the water here, you would assume that you're walking in a mall. It's so... Iba na yung vibe eh. That's why a lot of people go to other places.
Siargao.
Boracay is nice, but I'm saying that it's a different vibe. It's a different vibe as compared to before. It's really... I think they can do something about that.
Keep it small.
Yeah. And
that's the charm of...
Dude, you go there. If you want to party, you can party in some places, but there's some... You have to... For me, you go to those beaches for a reason, but you don't go there because you want to eat like in a restaurant like in Makati or Cebu, di ba? You want to go there because you want to experience the local delicacies. You want to talk with the locals. You want to feel the vibe of Boracay.
Parang kang pumunta ng Burger King tapos naghanap ka fried rice. Diba? Parang it doesn't work di ba?
But I think it's a process of getting there. It's a process of how do you sustainably develop an area na hindi over-commercialized, but you have progress, but you still
maintain
the identity of the community, of the people there.
Ipa-plug ko lang. That's Camiguin. Right? Camiguin. Siargao and Camiguin.
Siargao, man, is beautiful. I've been there a couple of times. If had the opportunity, I'd stay there more often. Quiet, beautiful beaches, safe.
Hindi ako pwede sa Siargao.
Bakit?
Papatayin ako ng asawa ko. 90% of avoiding problems is not being there. So, I'd rather not be there.
Okay, so if you don't go to Siargao, you can go to, for example,
actually, I don't...
Bais, pare. There's a nice beach in Bais. Or you go to Badasipalay. There's a nice beach there.
Pero question, marami bang chicks na naka-bikini ron?
Hindi ko napansin.
Kasi ako, kahit maliit pa ako, napapansin ko yun. Kaya bawal ako doon.
But it's a different vibe as compared to Siargao. Siargao is beautiful. Siargao was, I think, Boracay 20 years ago. If you're in Siargao, just the rule there is you're laid back and everybody rides a scooter. Everybody rides a scooter.
Na walang helmet.
Walang helmet. Pagkatapos,
puta, hindi pwede si Boss Gabriel Godon. Yari yun. Magagalit yun.
What they did before, sometimes when I go there, diba, you walk sa street, sa General Luna, sa main street, you just chill, man. It's nice. If you like to party, but there are some places naman na you can go na tahimik.
Chill lang.
Chill lang. Palawan is beautiful. You don't need to go to the really expensive resorts. There's beaches like 30 minutes away from Puerto Princesa. You can do that. Romblon.
I heard.
Romblon
wife
is
ni,
beautiful.
wife ni Tommy, taga ron.
It's beautiful. The three main islands there, Romblon, you can go to San Agustin, you can go to Sibuyan, and I believe there's Scarborough Island. It's beautiful. Again, the kulang lang is access.
This is where we get marble, right?
Yes, yes. Again, these are the places that ang problema lang is kulang medical facilities. That's why we're trying to see what we can do with that. Provide more access to safe and clean drinking water. But Romblon is a beautiful place. I was there, I think 3 weeks ago. It's one of those places na you wish you could stay longer, but unfortunately, due to time constraints, you can't. The roads are nice, friendly people. In Romblon, some speak in Bisaya. In Ojongan, they speak Tagalog.
Where is Romblon? North, south?
Romblon, so it's here, Batangas, Lucena, it's here. It's right above Katiklan, Aklan.
Okay.
So I took a ferry going there.
Yeah.
Before they had flights, but they canceled it already.
Kasi hindi masyadong siguro.
Yeah. So before kasi
Malamang pal yun. Kaya
there's a flight from Manila to Ojongan or to Romblon. But when they move it to Clark, parang nabawasan
yung mga pasahero.
Yeah. So those are the nice things. For example, you go Samar, Giwan before was beautiful. There's more development now, but before the 90s, yeah, that place was so nice, so pristine. As in, you could just park beside the road. White sand, one of the best I've seen. There's a lot of. I still have to go to a lot of places in the Philippines.
Ang dami naman na napuntahan eh.
Kulang pa.
That's how beautiful the country is.
Yes.
And people don't realize it because they don't take the time to go.
And this is why I like driving around the Philippines. You know why? Kasi if I fly from Manila to Dumaguete, it's 1 hour, 10 minutes. I get in Dumaguete, I see whatever I need to see or talk to whoever I need to talk to, but in Dumaguete. But if I drive, hey, I can see a really good restaurant in Camakalan, in Negros Occidental. I can visit a town in Aklan. I can go down to Antique. You can go up to Capiz or you can go down to Antique. And there's a really good restaurants there na di mahal pero masarap yung pagkain. So that's the nice thing about traveling by driving, because you discover places in the Philippines that you will never in your lifetime see if you travel by plane.
Alam mo maganda? Sponsored by Nissan. Take the patrol around the Philippines.
Pwede?
Diba?
Pwede?
Kakausapin natin na Nissan. Nissan?
Sama kami.
Yeah, once in a lifetime, dadali namin sa Scarborough Shoal yung patrol. Sasakay namin sa cutting.
You can take a patrol all the way to Bonggao.
What's Bonggao?
Tawi-Tawi.
Kaya?
You can do that. So, you drive all the way to Zamboanga City.
Zamboanga, then Roro.
Roro to Bonggao. Then, pwede from Bonggao to Holo. Then Zamboanga.
Back to Zamboanga.
Then, the following day, mag-day trip ka sa Basilan.
Patrol, tas ang backup, Land Cruiser. Tingnan natin kung sino tatagal.
Walang
Diba?
Land Rover.
Hindi, Land Rover yung main car. Backup yung dalawa. Yung Land Rover mo nga, naikot-ikot mo eh.
I've driven around the Philippines by myself, solo. It's okay. Ang kalaban mo lang, yung pagod lang.
Pagod lang. So, kailangan may dala kang kasama ka, mas maganda.
Mas nasanganay ako mag-isa. But, what I do is I have a really good audio system.
Para hindi ka antukin.
They are antukin, and every 2 to 3 hours, I stop. Stretch because my thighs I get painful, di ba?
You mentioned one of your advocacies is water and
Yes.
bringing medicine to these places.
Yes.
Yung question ko, one question I've always had for the longest time. And, I've been in the Philippines since 2010, being in the US for so long. We've never had problems with water there, developed country. Bakit dito sa Pilipinas, there are certain areas, even here in Manila,
Yes.
wala pang tubig?
UNICEF data as of 2023 states that 53% of all our households do not have access to water. More than half of all households in the Philippines, based on that data, do not have access to water. What that means is more people can go to their phone, scroll up, and
Look at a picture of water.
and watch a video on YouTube. There's a higher chance that they can watch a video on YouTube on their phone as compared to drinking water in their house. That's crazy.
Why is that?
I don't know. Water for
Alam ko, may isang company, di ba, na tinitira ngayon pero hindi natin alam. Ano ba yan? Hanggang ngayon, wala pa raw tubig yung mga lugar
there's a lot of when we started pushing for access to clean and safe drinking water, a lot of people ask us, why are you doing that? That's not a topic.
Not sexy.
It's not a sexy, but
Not
sabi
sexy enough.
but sabi namin, not having access to water might not be sexy, but that's something that we have to talk about because that's something that will affect people.
Survival.
Exactly. You can eat, you can choose not to eat. Mag-fasting ka for 5 days, okay na yan. Buhay ka.
Subukan mo hindi uminom ng tubig.
Isa-isang araw. So, yung mga tao, they're forced to drink bottled water.
C2.
Yeah. But, there has to be something done regarding that thing in the next 3 years. Kasi kawawa Kawawa yung mga Pilipino.
Why do you think that is based on your, since this is one of your advocacies? And guys, we're not here to point fingers who's mali or anything, but, since it's your advocacy, why do you think that is? I mean, we keep building roads, we keep building condos, for God's sake. We keep building new subdivisions and converting everything else to real estate. But we don't have water. Why?
I think it's a confluence of a lot of factors, and reasons. But like some people look at it, it's not sexy. Parang, okay, why are you talking about water? Water's there. Parang, most of the people who have a say have access to water. The
So they don't care.
The people who do not have a voice are the ones who are suffering because of lack of access to water. That's something that a lot of people will probably not say, but it's just something that has to be discussed because our mindset is it's not about what affects me. It's important is how it affects the community.
Everybody else.
Yes. Kasi it's when you're talking about fixing things, you're not fixing things for yourself. That's selfish. When you're fixing things for others because you want them to have a better life. So, more access to water. You can't solve it in 3 years. That's impossible. But if you make a dent, you lower that by 3 to 5%.
It snowballs
It snowballs, and the feeling na parang, uy, nakikita ako, narinig ako. Parang, that's something that is priceless when people actually feel that they have value, they're important. It makes what we're doing worth it.
Yeah. So, we've talked about food, tourism, and, guys, that's how beautiful the Philippines is. And perfect ambassador for it because you've done it. You've traveled throughout the Philippines. But, I know we're not going to talk about politics, which is andito ka na. You have a party list.
Yes.
You have number 91. And tell us about the advocacies of Partido sa Bagong Pilipino.
When I retired from Comlec in 2011, what I did is I usually drive around the Philippines. By myself, quiet lang. I'd go around, talk to some people, ask them anong problema, how we can help. And the more you do that, the more you discover that
There's a lot of problems.
there's a lot of problems, but instead of complaining, what we did is we had a different approach to it. We had a solutions mindset, how to help them. So we've been donating water filtration systems, we'll be donating medicines, but it is quiet lang. So I think we're at a stage na we need to scale to have a more lasting impact in the communities. So hopefully, we'll be able to do that. We'll be able to serve. I always say this, I don't know how to dance. My son will be the first one to tell you that I'm tone deaf, so I don't know how to sing. But I do know how to serve. So, that's what we're hoping to do in the next 3 years. If given the opportunity, we will do some legislation to improve the lives of the Filipinos. And the beauty of it is that's not only going to affect them in the next month, day, week, it's going to affect them in the next few years and even a decade at least. When you're able to provide access to water, or you are able to when you fix the healthcare system in the barangays, when you digitize it, the impact will be felt not by them only, but also their families. So it's more rewarding when you do something for others instead of doing it for yourself.
That you see that it's making an impact and making their lives better. Tama.
A lot of them, a lot of the people and even officials sa mga barangays, they don't want parang doleouts eh. They want not to fix things by on their own, but they just need help on how
They want
to be
empowerment. They want to be empowered.
Yes, they want to be empowered. And if you fix things on your own, parang mas magandang feeling na, parang, uy, ako nag-ayos ito, so matulungan namin kasama namin sa barangay. So, yes, there is a sense of ownership, which is very important. And hopefully we'll be able to do that. But whatever happens, that's our goal. And we'll continue doing what we're doing. Because yes, you might not help like 10 million or 50 million. But if you help, you're able to change the lives of like how many communities, that their lives will be better for the next few years and or at least next decade now. And it's not them, no? Kasi like for example, ako medyo maputi ng buhok ko, di ba? So
Buti may buhok ka pa, boss. Ako, wala na napuputi eh. Lahat, wala na. So it seems to grow somewhere else.
Yeah.
But,
ako naman, I don't have a beard. It's hard. Yeah.
Telling you, it just, parang pera daw yan eh. You don't lose it, just goes to somebody else. Buhok ganon. You don't really lose it. It grows somewhere else. And it turns white.
So sa amin is, when I say that when people vote, they always say, this is my vote, this is my voice. I have to tell you, that's a wrong way of looking at it. That's not your vote, that's the vote that belongs to your kids and grandchildren. Because you're not voting for people who will help you. You're voting for people who will help build a better future for your kids and loved ones. That's why you're there. That's why you're voting on May 12.
So guys, stop watching TikTok. Kasi nanay ko ganun din. She keeps watching TikTok. Pag sinasabi sa akin, may napanood ako. Sabi ko, saan mo nakuha yan? Sa TikTok. Sigurado totoo yan kasi galing TikTok. Guys, 90% is bullshit. Stop watching these people dance and make a fool of themselves. Some of them are okay naman, but it's you have to think. Right? And it's something we can do for our country, The sad part is when we go out of the country and see other countries, how they're being ran, how they're being governed. It's not really the government It's the people.
Bakit sa ibang countries, ang mga sobrang galing doon, mga Pinoy. And when we go to other countries, we follow the laws to the letter. But why is it? But when you get back to the Philippines, ay, makalusot ako dito, hindi ko susundin yan, di ba? Bakit? You should change that. Dapat dito, we should strive to do the best because we have only one country. The Philippines, atin to.
It's funny, we're known all over the world, especially now. We actually have friends from other countries, and other countries are actually supporting us. But yet, we're making strides in other countries and not in our own.
Yeah.
Because everybody else is helping other countries, not us. Mag-umpisa dapat yan sa sarili. You know? The problem lies, like I said, is us. We have to change. You know, sabi nga ng isang follower, sa gobyerno, korap yan eh. Sagot ko sa kanya, alam mo bakit naging korap? Kasi kinokorap nyo. Corruption is a two-way street. Both parties have to participate. So kung walang nangungurap, walang korap. Ganun lang naman kasimple yan eh. So it has to start from the people. And we keep blaming the government, we keep blaming everybody else, but we forget to look at ourselves and say, tama ba ginawa ko tong araw na to? And 90% of people, I will tell you, can't even say that.
Wow.
Because they probably threw trash somewhere and
Exactly.
it's very small thing.
Oh, by the way, I have to say this, Let me interrupt you one last. I actually have a trash can in the car. Every car that I drive, there's always a small trash can there because all the stuff, the wipes, the wrappers, whatever, I put it there. And when I go to wherever I stay at that night, I throw the trash there. So I make sure that when I drive, I don't throw trash
So
on the
trash
street.
outside. Yung kaibigan ko hindi naglalagay ng trash can sa loob ng kotse. I asked him, why do you keep throwing shit outside the car? Pare, biodegradable yan. I was like, that's not the whole point of biodegradable material, is to throw it outside the road.
Exactly.
It's not, di ba? But again, guys, like I said, this is more of an awakening for us. It's May 12, sabihin ko sana June 12, puta, araw pa lang kalayaan dun. It's May 12. We have to choose the right people. A good friend, Goyo, not Boss Toyo, this is Boss Goyo. Check him out. You don't have to take my word, but see what he stands for and make your decision on May 12. Boss,
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And see you on the road.
see you on the road.
Bungaw?
Nissan.
Bungaw tayo,
Nissan.
Promise, Bungaw tawid
Akala ko
kami.
bugaw eh.
Bungaw tayo.
We're on the air. Parang mahirap bugaw. Yeah.
Bungaw
Let's
tawid
try,
tayo.
yes.
Yeah.
Tawi-tawi, we can look for people. Kasama ka. Kasama ka.
Kamukha ko na dun.
Yun. Pero yan, lilipad yan. Di sasama sa atin. Kasama ka sa kotse.
It's 17 hours, no? 17 hours by boat.
Ah,
17 hours by boat.
Yeah.
Okay na yan.
So, great guys. Join us soon. Hindi bugaw, but bungaw. Tawi-tawi. Hopefully with Nissan. I'll see you guys soon. King Panda TV, King Panda Talks. Thank you for watching. Guys, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe sa King Panda TV on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. Kundi, isusumbong ko kayo sa asawa nyo na nandun kayo sa beer house kagabi. Teka, kung nakita ko sila, di nandun din ako. Di, okay lang yun. Kaya mo na. Sige. Huwag mo na ako susumbong, ha? Subscribe na kayo. See you guys soon.